Thank you for tuning in to I Can Get You Fly TV show where you tune in for business after beauty school education. For the enthusiastic, ambitious student who wants to make a six-figure year income rather than just a standard 20K per year, I'm your host, Stylist John. Let me fix my light right quick. Thank you for tuning in. Today's series we've been talking about has been called Go Where You're Celebrated. Now, why have I been talking about going where you celebrate it? Well, the reason why I've been talking about going where you celebrate is because when there's a celebration and a party, there's a lot of energy. You know, you're around loved ones, you're around people that care about you, you're around people that understand who you are and you understand who they are, and there's a celebration going on. Have you ever heard that song that said, "Celebrate good times, come on, dun, 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 dun." That's a real happy song. And so when you're in a celebration, you're extremely happy. Now, why are you happy? It's because there's a lot of energy around. You're expressing a lot of the good things that you've experienced in this environment. And so when you go in a place where you're celebrated and you are loved and cared for, you tend to thrive, you tend to grow, you tend to be appreciated for doing the very thing that you love to do. And that's doing hair, braiding, sew-ins, makeup, anything in the cosmetology field. Which leads me to today's episode. So, even though you're doing what you love to do, there's going to be people that's not going to like you doing what you love to do. And we're going to call them a specific name. We're going to call them haters. We're going to call the people that's working against, when you're trying to do something and they're working against you doing it, those are people that sabotage what it is you're doing. They wishing ill will towards you and wishing that things don't work for you. And they're working to bring your energy level down. Now, why do these people exist? Because there's always an equal but opposite. So there's always a yin to a yang, okay? And life is always about balance. And so you always have to balance your energy and you have to be aware of the energies that are around you. Now, why am I saying this? Because while I said that I wanted to go back to beauty school, I've been to beauty school twice. I've been to beauty school exactly 9 years ago and went to a pivot point curriculum school. And I was the only guy in the classroom. And my first day of class, when I decided that I wanted to go to school, I got hated on real bad. I was the only guy. First, I got flirted with. All the girls asked me the question that they ask all guys. You know, when they see guys in a female-dominated environment, the first thing they ask you is, "Are you gay?" My response was, "No, I'm not. I'm very straight, and I love women." And I just love being able to do makeup, hair, barbering. I love being able to do all those different things. So when I got into the environment, I was well received by some people, but then I was also hated on by others. And so how did it make me feel? It did make me feel indifferent because I came there with a goal in mind that I wanted to be able to leave a legacy and create my own business and to be able to leave my family something. When I get married and have children, I wanted to be able to leave my family a business, just like what's her name? Madam C.J. Walker. Madam C.J. Walker was a millionaire in the beauty industry. And my grandma used to talk to me about Madam C.J. Walker. And when I was a child, I used to go to the Annie Malone parade, and she used to talk to me about Madam C.J. Walker. And my grandmother was one of my early influences that really crafted me in being the barber stylist that I am right now, because I felt a lot of love coming from her when she was in the kitchen doing what she loved to do. And that was caring for her family, cooking, cleaning, hairstyling. These were things that she loved to do. And because I was around her, I picked up a lot of skills just from being around her. I picked up the skills of cooking. I picked up the skills of knowing how to press her and curl it and do roller sets just from watching her and eventually helping her out. And I also got a few tips on doing makeup, because when she used to hug me, when she used to give me a hug, her makeup used to come off on my shirt. And I used to hate the fact that her makeup came off on my shirt. And I would always be thinking, like, why does she wear this stuff? Why does she wear makeup? Why does she have to put it on her face? My grandmother had two-tone skin. Someone had called it an early stage of vitiligo, where one part of her skin was really light and the other part was even lighter. And so she wore a foundation to even out her skin tone. And she was a very prim and proper woman, and she always looked her best before she went anywhere. And that's one thing that I always respected about women, that always worked to get themselves together before they left the house and didn't have the hair all over her head, because she always made sure she was together before she left the house. And these were principles that I took with me as my core belief system as a child. So when I got into cosmetology school, I was already familiar with doing certain things, just from being loved by my family and helping my family out, and having girlfriends that eventually needed me to braid back in a micro braid, or eventually to be able to assist them with shampooing their hair and rubbing their scalp when they come home from basketball practice. Because I dated athletes when I was in middle school, elementary school, and high school. I always dated athletes. I always dated athletic women. And so I'll be playing basketball. My girlfriends would either have a basketball game or be a cheerleader. And so when they would get home from the game, they come over the house, we'd be playing video games, and they'll be talking to me about how their game was, and I'll be talking to them about how my game was, and eventually they'll lay on me, and then I'll be rubbing their scalp. And so the love and care that I had for my family and my female friends and my girlfriends took me to this journey of going to cosmetology school, because I said I want to own a business. And I found out the beauty industry have so much money in it. The beauty industry is $1 billion industry, and African Americans, we have a $1 trillion buying power, and Black women dominate the hair industry. However, Black women are not the most paid in the hair industry. It's Caucasian that are the people that are most paid in the industry. Why? Because of hair color. Caucasians have learned to master the hair color system. And they have systems in place, and they have money already in place that allow them to be successful. So in my mind, I always thought about, how can I be successful? I looked at the example of Madam C.J. Walker. I looked at a lot of the prominent people in the beauty field that have their own companies that have been around for the past 50 years, like Dudley and Design Essentials, and a few other companies like Luster, Pink Oil Moisturizer, all these products. When I was in beauty school, I sat down and started thinking about ideas and products that I wanted to make. So while I was in beauty school, when I had first signed up to go to school, all the females asked me, "Why are you here?" And I was like, I'm comfortable. I'm used to being in this environment where I got a whole bunch of females around me, because I got a gang of female cousins. I'm talking about, my grandmother had 9 children. And so out of her 9 children, the 9 children had a plethora of children, you know. There was always a house full of grandkids. And so the majority of the females in my family, the majority of people in my family the majority was women. And then there was a number of men. And so my cousins, it was always a big group of us, and we always did stuff together. So I was always used to being around large environments of women, because the women in my family is a large group of them. Even my extended family, you know, it's a large group of them, and I love them. They cool as a mug. They always helped me. We always found balance, being able to get along, and we always was just cool as a family with each other. You know, shout out to my female cousins. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. And so they all asked me when I was in beauty school, why am I here? And so I was like, well, I like doing hair. And they was like, you can't do no hair. And I'm like, yeah, I can. And they're like, well, let me see some pictures. And so I'm going through my phone, and I'm showing them pictures of some little work I did. It wasn't the best work, but it was some work that I did, and I was seriously trying, you know. And so some of it was good, and some of it was a little unpolished. And so the teacher come by and say, all right, leave John alone. And so I always found my own space while being in beauty school with getting along with certain people, because not everybody, you know, tend to get along. But there was a lot of females I got along with. And then there was some that just didn't like me being there because I just was a guy. And so I had to be all right with that. And so I always found my own space, my own bubble to be in. And me being in my own bubble allowed me to be creative in my own space. And so when I was in beauty school, there would be some females, when I'm working on my mannequin head, I'm dancing because I got my earphones in. And the teacher said, you know, we really can't have music playing, but I'm in my zone. I'm dancing. Anytime I hear music, I start being really creative, because I love music, because I like creating music and songs, right? So I'm in the beauty school. I'm dancing. I'm doing hair at the same time. I'm combing the hair, and the female is just looking at me and just mad at me. And I turn around, I look at her, I say, is everything all right? And I'm just jamming. I'm flat ironing her, I'm cutting, I'm pulling her to the side, I'm trying to figure out how to do a bob cut, and she's just mad. I say, "Are you all right? What's wrong with you?" She say, "You know how to do her better than me." And I was like, "Do you need some help? I can help you. Do you want some help?" She was like, "No, I want no help from you." And I'm like, "Well, all right. I go back to jamming, you know." And one of the other females say, "Don't trip off of her. She just hating on you. You know, she just mad at you because you working at it and you love doing what you're doing and you good at it." So I said, "You know what? I removed her out of my mind, and I just continue focusing on what it is that I'm doing. And why I continue focus on what I'm doing, because the job of somebody that don't like the fact that you're doing what you love to do, their job is to get you to focus on them and not to focus on what you're doing. A hater's job is to hate the fact that you are being successful and to hate you because they want to be in a successful position that you in, and their job is to hate you. And your job is to be as successful as you can in front of them and do what you're supposed to be doing. Why? You're supposed to celebrate when your haters start hating on you. I had some homeboys that told me, "Man, you shouldn't go to beauty school," and they trapping. You know what I'm saying? They doing what they do. You know what I'm saying? However they do it. They telling me that I shouldn't go to beauty school. And I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? Why am I not finna go do what I love to do? I'm like, all right, whatever. I ain't finna listen to you. I'm finna go do I'm finna go do what I love to do. So I go in the direction where I'm supposed to go in. And a few of them got locked up. And I'm not glamorizing the fact that they got locked up because they're my dudes. I love them. But sometimes you have friends that talk against what it is that you're supposed to be doing. And what do you do when you have friends that talk against what you're supposed to be doing? Your mind said, I'm supposed to do this, but they doing that. You still respect them as your friend and you move on to do what you're supposed to be doing. Why? Because you got an end goal in mind. You begin to celebrate because you see the end result before it even begins. And then even when you get involved in doing what it is you love to do, sometimes you have people that sabotage the things that you're trying to go for. I had a friend, a so-called friend, that came back into my life that needed some help. They needed me to be there for them. Their car was breaking down. They needed some money. They needed me to pick them up and drop them off. And I started interning with this very prestigious young lady that I really love and care for to this day. And when I started interning for, I didn't want to tell too many people because I didn't want to ruin my chances, because it just so happened it was just this black fog was following me. And it wasn't because of what I did. It's because somebody was wishing ill will against me. So the young lady that was supposed to have been my friend, I started talking to her about the internship that I was at. And she started trying to give me advice on how I could better myself, but I wasn't really trying to talk too much about it because I didn't want to ruin my chances before I got myself fully in there in order to be good at what it is that I was doing. And I was working hard. I'm talking about I made a very strong sacrifice to leave the place that I was working at to go intern for this young lady. And I really wanted to be a part of this education team because I love this product. I used this product when I was in school, and I really cared about the integrity of the hair. And it's been one of my dreams to be an educator. Why do I want to be in education? Because I love learning. And I surrounded myself with a lot of education teachers. And the reason why I surrounded myself with a lot of education teachers is because whoever you surround yourself with is who you become. So I surrounded myself with people that educate, people that love learning, people with different skill sets, people that do makeup, people that do flat irons, people that do sewings, people that do all different type of stuff. And I know how to do some of these things, but a lot of the people I surrounded myself with are way better at it than me. And so if you are the smartest person in the room, you need to surround yourself with people that are equally as smart or way smarter. Why? Because it's going to take you up another level. And this person was supposed to have been my friend, and they began talking to me about the opportunity, and I got let go from the opportunity. Maybe my speed wasn't as strong as it needed to have been, or my skill set wasn't the greatest, and so I ended up being let go from the internship. And I was like, okay. So I went and found another place to work at, cried my little eyes out because my feelings was hurt because I really cared about this particular individual that I was interning with. I really loved and cared about her. And I seen the future, a long future. This person that I was interning with had given me the opportunity to open up my own building and talk to me about it. And when she talked to me about it, I seen the future when she was telling me about it. And she was like, I want to open up a whole nother building. I want to extend this, and you're going to be in charge of this. And I want to extend the brand. And I was like, bet. I was like, let's do it. I was all for it. The young lady that was supposed to have been my friend was talking to me about it. And I slipped up and I told her, and she got mad. And when she got mad, she tried to console me and was like, oh, okay, I'm sorry that, you know, you're not a part. You didn't get a chance to be a part of that. And the next thing that happened further down the line, she started trying to work with the young lady that offered me the potential to have my own building. She started trying to work with her. And when she started trying to work with her, the next thing she did was she started talking bad about her and dogging her out and talking bad about her name and talking bad about her brand. And I was shocked, and I was like, that's not my friend. Let me remove myself from that. And when I rolled the tape back and I look at it, she was saying little odd stuff about her character and my character even while I was interning. And I was like, wait a minute, hold up. And when I ran the tape back, I said, she sabotaged me. Okay, you got to be careful who you call your friends. You got to be careful who you call your business partners. Okay? Just be careful. Really test the integrity of the relationship when you're working with somebody. And the reason why you want to do that is because everybody is not your friend. Everybody is not a good business partner to work with. And the only way you will know that is because people will show themselves eventually. They will show themselves. And when they show themselves, believe them when they show you. I had to learn the hard way. You know, you may have to learn the hard way too, but there's always lessons to be learned. And don't be afraid and don't be upset about it. And the reason why I say it is because God always have your best interest at heart when he give you a purpose, and when he tell you to do something, he always have your best interest at heart. He always have an end to where your beginning is, and he always is trying to get you from point A to point Z. I didn't say B, I said Z. The reason why I said point A to point Z is because there's always a next level thing that you're going to go through. And so what did I learn from that? I had to celebrate. My feelings was hurt, but I was okay because I was alive, and there's going to be way more opportunities in the future. And I still love the person I was interning for to this day. She a real good person. I don't wish no ill will against the person that sabotaged me. And I'm going to win. And the reason why I'm going to win is because God destined for me to win. And I ain't no loser. And so I started celebrating. The reason why I started celebrating is because when tests come and things start turning your world upside down, it's to show you something. Because God always tests the very thing that he show you. There's always tests for you to get it. And so either you going to continue going through the situation and try your best to make the best decisions and make it to the end, or you going to give up. And so the test be if you're going to give up or not. And so I reapplied for the education position. I'm waiting to hear a word back from the education coordinator to find out if I'm going to be picked to be on the education team. If I get picked, I'll be excited. If I don't get picked, I'm going to apply for another education team position because I love learning and I love teaching and I love trying to understand things. And in the beauty industry, you have to learn as well as teach. While you teach, while you learning, you learn way more information. I'm talking about way more information. And so in the beauty field, there's so much information to learn. You have to have a filter. And when you connect yourself with a mentor, your mentor becomes your filter. When you become the mentee under a mentor. And so while you're learning, you want to connect with a mentor. And if you're the mentee, you want to grab yourself a mentee, somebody to learn under you. And so what the words say is say, reach one, teach one. While somebody is teaching you, you want to grab somebody under you to teach so that way all y'all can come up. And when all y'all come up, all y'all gonna have an understanding. And then all y'all gonna be successful. I'm Stylist John. You want to celebrate, even though they hating, even though they sabotaging, and they working to bring you down. You want to celebrate. And the reason why you celebrating is because them little things that was designed to take your focus off and make you mad is designed to take you off your goal. And so what you want to do is you want to focus on your goal. You want to focus on where God taking you. You want to focus on going higher. And while you focus on being higher, on going higher, you want to be an eagle. What's an eagle? An eagle dream and think on a whole nother level. My cousin just went to Vegas. And when he and his wife went to Vegas, no sooner than 2 days after they done left, somebody tried to break into their house. And the security camera caught the people that broke into their house on camera while they broke into the house. And Ferguson Police Department then went and grabbed up the guys that had broke into their house. And what it teach me that they were supposed to get up out of here. They were supposed to take that move. Why? They say St. Louis is like crabs in the barrel. They say St. Louis like crabs in the barrel. They say that, you know, they say a lot of negative things about the city, but I think the city got a lot of potential to be great. And why do I feel like the St. Louis can be great again? Well, the reason why I feel like that is because now people is climbing out of the barrel. First of all, who made the barrel where the crabs is in? Who made it? We ain't make it. It's a system designed to keep people stacked on top of each other. And so when one person get out the barrel, what you do, the next person grab the next person, pull them out of the barrel. And then what happens after that? The next person pull the next person out of the barrel. And then pretty soon, when you out of the barrel and you fall over, everybody else gonna come out of the barrel, which is a whole new system and way of doing things. So why I make this video? I made this video because you might be experiencing some setbacks. You might be experiencing some failures. You might be experiencing some people talking against what you're trying to do. You might be experiencing people that sabotaging your work. You might be experiencing the emotional roller coaster of trying to do something and being let down while you're trying to go do it. Or you might be afraid to step out and go do something. But I want to encourage you because in the word, it says, greater is he on the inside of you than he who's in the world. And what does that mean? There's greatness on the inside of you. Despite the things you see, despite the things that you hear, there's greatness on the inside of you. And you got to celebrate while you're going through it. And who are we celebrating? We're celebrating the one that made you. We celebrating the opportunities that's coming in the future. And we celebrating the future success that you're going to reach. And when you celebrate the one that created you, when you celebrate your future success, and when you celebrate while things is going wrong, what to do? It keep your attitude at an even playing field to where you're not affected by the negative things that happen. And what it make you do? When you walk right into your success, you win. I'm Stylist John. Thank you for tuning in to I Can Get You Fly TV show for business after beauty school education. For the enthusiastic, ambitious student who wants to make a six-figure year income rather than the standard 20K per year, the series that I've been talking about is Go Where You Celebrate It. I'm on episode 15. Today's series is Celebrate Even Though They Hating and Sabotaging and Working to Bring You Down. And while you celebrating, you want to rebuild your credit, you want to repair your credit, and you want to repair your credit, okay? And while you're learning and being educated, you want to mentor somebody else as you're being mentored. Why? Reach one, teach one. You bring up the education level around you. And while you're doing this, you want to be an eagle. Why? Because it says that no weapon formed against you shall prosper. If you would like to donate, go to www.gofundme.com/Cuts and Conversation. Cuts and Conversations is a service project where barbers and stylists meet at the community center off LaSalle in order to provide haircuts for individuals 15 years or younger. If you are a barber or a stylist and you would like to engage in this activity, inbox me, contact me, let me know. I will give you the information and you can come along and you can enjoy cutting a young man or young lady's hair and having a real life conversation with them that will assist them with bettering themselves and bettering their community. For more tips, subscribe to my YouTube channel at www.youtube.com or you can search in the search bar Stylist John MUA. All right. Join my newsletter at www.stylistjohn.webs.com and book your appointment with me at www.stylistjohn.webs.com for your weekly or bi-weekly appointment for business after beauty school education. For the enthusiastic, ambitious student who wants to make a six-figure year income rather than just a standard 20K per year, I'm your host. Today's episode was celebrate even though they hating, sabotaging, and working to bring you down. God will always bring you up. Celebrate.